we have an opportunity to highlight the new dimension for this relationship between the University of Virginia and Virginia Tech that we've had over the past 12 to 14 months with Virginia Tech entering the Atlantic Coast Conference. And I think that this new dimension is an expansion of the relationship that we've had. Historically, our institutions probably in a given year competed in maybe 10 to 12 sports on an annual basis. So this will greatly expand that competitive relationship between our intercollegiate sports programs with 21 sports that will take part in this competition on an annual basis. And it even expands the relationship beyond what it is that we will do with the ACC, and it'll give even greater significance to the competition that are sports that have traditionally competed, football, basketball, soccer, et cetera. But it'll give greater credibility and exposure to our Olympic sports programs overall, the ability for the student athletes and coaches in these programs to demonstrate the quality of their respective sports, I think does just tremendous things for our respective institutions. So, well, it was a couple years ago that the concept was first floated, and I remember Jim and I had a couple of phone conversations, just about the idea and whether it made sense for Virginia Tech or the University of Virginia. And there were still a lot of things going on as it related to the ACC. So it was probably it's probably been the last 10 months or so that things really started to heat up, at least as far as my understanding of the relationship and the discussions. North Carolina and Duke is probably the model that's closest to us. California and Stanford University is another very successful and historic, quote, rivalry or challenge series. So those would be the two. And to the best of my knowledge, the scoring that's been developed for the Commonwealth Challenge does, in fact, incorporate a lot of the same specs as the North Carolina-Duke relationship. A lot of the original discussions about this seem to be going along the lines of a real knockdown, drag-out competition between the two institutions. And I think the more that the leaders on our respective campuses talked about the importance of this and what it could mean statewide, we felt together that it would be much better to be framed along the lines of competition that's in the spirit of mutual respect, highlighting the sportsmanship, the quality of our programs, but the sportsmanship between our participants. And I think that is something that's going to be sustained over time. It's not going to develop into any sort of bitter rivalry. I mean, there's enough competition between these coaches and between the student athletes and certainly between our fans. So we're not looking to fan that element of the relationship. We're looking at the sportsmanship and the mutual respect that we have for our colleague institution.